One thing about me is I respond to y'all on Twitter when you say things. So this is me in Cincinnati. I went to Grater's Ice Cream, best ice cream in the world. I was getting my chocolate raspberry on. And, you know, fans like to write things. So somebody said, hey, you and Paige Spiranac should play some golf together. And then I said, sure, if she has the patience for me, why not? Which is like, she was not smart to respond to this because I'm the worst person to possibly even consider golfing with. But she wrote back and said, I'm so down, let's play some golf. And then the internet blew up. So please welcome in Paige Spiranac to the show. Paige, I had no idea. Obviously, I know who you are. You're a mega influencer, super successful, love having you on the show. Why is the internet obsessed with literally everything you do?
I have no idea, but I'm really happy that this happened so we can get together and play some golf.
Yeah, I didn't really mean it when I said that because we've had Jordan Spieth on the show. I'm just not a golf gal. I need you to get me into it. But part of me thinks like maybe putt-putt, some sort of windmill situation. I'm hitting it into a clown's mouth and then we take some tequila shots. Does that sound good to you, Paige?
100% on the tequila shots, but it's really funny because everyone thinks if you're good at golf, you're good at putt-putt, and it's the exact opposite. Oh. I am a horrendous putt-putt player, but I can crush it on the golf course, so I think it actually would be a pretty good match between us.
I just literally do not believe you. I think you're roping me into this. I think it would be the dumbest thing. People think we're going to play against each other in some serious way. I literally don't know how to swing, so we're going to have to start there. Give me some actual tips on if before, because you're so busy. We're going to get to all the amazing things you're doing. You're going to my hometown of Chicago. What should I be working on leading up to us eventually golfing together in a month or so?
So you can watch any of my tutorials on YouTube where I go through the basics of golf, but it's really about setup and getting out there and just swinging it on the driving range. So you want to make sure that your ball position is good, your grip is good, your setup is good, and then from there, you're athletic. So I believe that you're going to be really great at it, but it's all about patience and enjoying it because as we know, golf can be so incredibly frustrating, and that is how people quit right away, is that they can't hit the ball, perfectly, and they expect to, and they think they should be able to do it. Yeah. And it takes them time. But as soon as you hit that first shot pure, you're going to be obsessed with it. Totally addicted. It takes one shot and then you're in for life.
I'm down. Literally no one could get me to golf but you because this is the fastest friendship I've ever made. But the internet, we're the dream match for the internet, apparently. So that's what we've all learned from this. But we're talking about the match, which we have NFL players, we've got NBA players taking on each other, and so people are booking the next men's the match. Who are you putting up against each other, and who are the stakes? We've had Mahomes, we've had Travis Kelce, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. Who would make a good match in your opinion?
It's going to be a bit of a hot take, but I'm sick of seeing NFL players do the match and NBA players. I want to see some women competing. Why don't we do a little combination where we have some LPGA pros? Give me Jessica Korda, give me Nelly Korda, and then you can throw in a Steph Curry and an Aaron Rodgers. But I think this battle of the sexes, where you could do a combined team, that is what I want to see. And I think people would be blown away by how good these girls are on the LPGA tour. It's mind-blowing how straight they hit it, how far they hit it, how many putts they make. They would absolutely embarrass the boys.
Would you want to play in the match? Would you, if you were in there, would you embarrass the boys, Paige?
I don't know. Steph Curry is a really good player. I think if we're playing from our respected tees, it could be a really great match. I don't play as much as I used to. When I was back and practicing and when I was playing professionally, I think I got it. But now, I think he plays more golf than he plays basketball. And he's spectacular at both. I don't understand how a human being can be so good at so many different things. I can barely walk straight. And he's like, I'm great at golf. I'm great at basketball. I'm great at this. I'm great at that. So I'm singing at a Paramore concert. I'm like, what can't this guy do?
What can't? A Paramore concert on top of that, Paige. We love that you're on the show. We're having so much fun with you. I learned a lot about you over the past 24 hours or the past 48 hours since, literally Golf Digest. I'm like, what are we doing? People want us to golf golf together, and I'm so down for it. But I was reading, there's some people that say that you sexualize the sport. There's like an old guard that doesn't love it, and in actuality, it sounds like, from what I've learned, that your message is really about inclusivity, about body positivity, about anti-bullying, and having women sort of feel comfortable being themselves. So could we talk a little bit about that? And, it's something I consider in my career, like, what am I wearing? What am I, and it, you offer a very refreshing take on that.
Yeah, so I was a competitive gymnast before I switched over to golf. And so I was so comfortable being in leotards. And when I started playing golf, I didn't have enough money to go out and buy a whole new golf appropriate wardrobe. And so I would often wear athletic wear that I had just in my closet. And that was leggings and tank tops. And that's how I learned the game of golf, on public golf courses where there wasn't a strict dress code. And so when I started posting on social media, I never had this idea of like blowing up or going viral or having followers. I was just showing my swing, but because I was wearing clothes that weren't deemed, golf appropriate, people lost their minds. And it's just how I feel best. I've always dressed this way. I like being sexy. That's how I feel most confident. And there are definitely times where I play it up on social media, but it's my body. It's my choice. I can choose what I want to wear, and this is how I feel most comfortable. And I think that a lot of people are scared to get into the game of golf because it can be very stuffy and it can be not very welcoming at times because you're so scared about, what am I wearing? What am I doing? Am I going to, upset a member at a country club, or all of these things, where you can go to a public golf course, and when I go, I see guys in cutoff jeans and tank tops, and I'm wearing leggings, and you can still respect the game and you can uphold the tradition of the game, and it doesn't have to be all about your wardrobe. And like I said, I wear where I feel most comfortable, and I don't promote it as like, you have to wear this and that's how you're going to get followers. I often talk about the pros and cons and how, being sexy has hurt my career in which ways, and what if I did it differently, what would happen. So I always try to say, like, I'm not promoting this. I'm just talking and sharing my personal story. And that's what I try to do on social media. And it's all being authentic to myself. And this is what's authentic to me.
I think it's amazing. I love hearing this from you. It's tough because there's some people out there where you can't be both. There's something that exists when you cover sports or whatever. You can't look. You're beautiful, Paige. You can't be that and also know what the F you're talking about. It just can't. How can those two things exist? I don't know what that is or where it comes from. So does the way that you choose, because it's you, your body, you choose to express yourself, does it affect how people listen to your message or what you want to get out there about sports betting, about golf, about football, and all the takes, and we'll get to that in a second. Does it affect it?
I would say yes at first, and that's just human nature to judge a book by its cover. And I think when you look at my social media profile, you're like, this girl is over-sexualizing herself, and that's all she is. But people don't realize that I have a really strong golf background. I was a top junior ranked golfer. I had a full ride scholarship to play at a D1 university. I played pro for 1 year. I had one pro win. And throughout that time, I also taught juniors how to play golf. I ran junior golf camps and I taught other people. I caddied. And so I have so much golf experience, and I've worked with some of the best instructors in the world. And I love sharing that with everyone. And people will look at me and they go, I'm not going to listen to her. There's no substance there. But they will listen to someone else online and, they're covered up, and I'm looking at the information they're giving. I'm like, that's just not correct information. And I think I have such a really great loyal following that once they kind of get over that, then they're like, yeah, she actually does have a lot to say. And so many people come up to me and they're like, you fixed my flop shot. You have fixed my bunker shot. I now know how to hit a draw, or I know how to do this because of your golf instruction. And it's the same thing with my picks too. I really try to give the best golf picks that I can, and picking for golf is extremely difficult. And I am on an absolute heater. I've picked 6 outrights this year. cashing in on a ton of top fives, top tens. And again, yes, I think people are going to look at me. They're going to have this judgment of the person that I am, but I always tried to show more than that. And of course, the easy way out would to be change outfits or cover up a little bit more. But I just think that's so hypocritical that people can't see more than just this. And yes, I use it to my advantage because I'm in a male-dominated industry, and sometimes you have to do this to get into the door. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm oblivious to what I'm doing. I just try to use all of the tools that I have to be as successful as I can be.
Well, you're actually really honest about it. You're open about playing it up, which is, I think, half the battle, and like you're having fun with it, and people are going to hate that. People are just going to hate that you're having fun with it. That's just what happens. I like that you call yourself, I think it's the ambassador of misfits. What would you like to see change in professional golf to make it more inclusive?
You know, I think over the last couple of years, it's been changing in a really positive direction where before you couldn't even play music on the golf course without someone being so incredibly upset, like furious about it. And we're moving and we're having these discussions like, can guys wear shorts on tour? Is that something that might potentially happen? And I say this out loud. I'm like, that is so stupid. Why can't guys wear shorts on tour? But golf, again, it's just so traditional and people don't want to lose that. But I think you can progress and then you'll get a whole new demographic into the game of golf. And so you have to change these rules. You have to progress. And I think people are finally starting to see that now because we've had a wild year in golf and things are changing and they're being shaken up, and we're just going to have to adapt and to change. And I think people are having an open mind about what golf can be. And I think it helps that there are a lot of influencers like myself who are having fun and showcasing that online. And you have people doing fun games on YouTube and wearing things that are, you know, a little bit more relaxed and playing music and having fun. And everyone's showing them, they're like, okay, golf is not what I thought it was, and it is changing. And that makes me really happy.
It's awesome. Now, you're saying that you're not going to change for anybody, but you did change something, Paige, because you were compared to Trevor Lawrence, which I was like, wait, what is this? My producer showed me this. And so here's what happened. And like, of course, people are going to comment and troll. And you're like me, you respond. Like, it's a community that you're building, and you're so good at it. Somebody said that you look like Trevor Lawrence, and you said, I can't unsee it. So, I mean, I don't see it, but you do.
So I was having a bad hair day, you know, and the hair was a little greasy and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I had to film some content, and I see all these really cute girls wearing headbands, you know, and I was like, I'm going to do that. That is what I'm going to do today. I put it on. First comment was, you look like Trevor Lawrence and my life is forever changed. And I looked at it and I'm like, God, I look like Trevor Lawrence. Content, I'm like, I gotta get ahead of this. And so I said, you know what, I will never wear a headband ever again because I look like Trevor Lawrence. And people loved it. And that's the thing, you have to have fun with social media. And I always say I'm the biggest troll of myself. I will always poke fun at myself. I will always make fun of myself. I try to not take myself too seriously, and I think that's reflected across all of my social media. But yeah, this one stung just a little bit.
What's something that, I mean, the crazy thing is that anything that you says goes viral, like literally anything. So a headband or whatever, what's something that you really, because you're very bright. You know what's going to work. You play into it. You're very good at what you do. What's one thing that went viral that you're like, why? I have no idea. I didn't see this coming. What?
Something recently that happened was everyone's always talking about my golf attire, and we touched on that earlier, but I wore a golf appropriate outfit, and everyone is always saying if you wear, you know, a collar and your skirts down to your knees that you're going to play better. And I didn't. And so I put out there that, you know, I tested the theory and I believe that I play better when I wear less clothes. Yeah. And everyone picked it up. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I know why, but I didn't expect that. Like when I put that
yes, you
out,
did.
I didn't
Paige,
expect that was actually
BS.
like,
Paige, I am calling BS on that. You 100% knew what you were doing with that comment. It's a great comment. Paige, that is not.
But I was surprised by who picked it up. Let's say that. There's always like the usual suspects, but then it's like Fox News, and that's like the main headline. I'm like,
well,
oh my
that's
gosh.
not surprising
Oh
to
my
me
gosh.
in the least bit, to be honest. But it's funny. We were going to play a game. I was like, what could we get Paige to say on the show that we just like, well, let's test, let's experiment with this. Like, if we could get Paige to say, I once saw an alien, or, you know, I hate the show Full House, or like something like that. Like, is that going to be the headline on like blah, 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 blah online? I bet it would be.
We were talking about that. So I have a podcast, the Playing Around podcast, and we were like, let's just throw things in there just to see what would stick and what would happen. But I don't even have to do that because they'll morph and switch things around. And so now I really do have to be careful because sometimes it's like they do switch it so much. And I'm like, now everyone thinks I'm this type of person because I said this and I didn't even say that.
Yeah. But you have fun with it, which is the best part. Now let's get to the nitty gritty here, the NFL vibes, because your dad, Dan, I don't know if NFL fans know this, okay? She's not just the queen of golf. She's NFL Pittsburgh royalty. University of Pittsburgh national championship team in 1976. You grew up a Steelers fan, I understand. You do like the Bills, you like some other teams though. Steelers, loaded division. I'm gonna show you, this is their record. This is the whole division and how they did last year. Bengals finished on top, then the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns. Who do you think comes away winning the AFC North, Paige?
I mean, it's really tough to say, but since I am a Steelers fan, I think there are some high expectations for them this year. Fingers crossed. I am such a big Kenny Pickett fan, and especially a massive Mike Tomlin fan. And so I'm putting all my good vibes into their season this year. And I think with Patrick Peterson, it's going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, a good year for them.
I love that. I'm going to be talking about Najee Harris later. Najee Harris getting no respect. He was injured last year. The O-line's better. Nobody thinks he's going to have a great season. I know Jalen's great, but we're going to talk about that a little later in the show. You are going to my hometown, okay? You're going to be there in Chicago doing something really fun coming up on August 16th. You're having a putting contest, which I will not be in, where fans are going to sort of learn how to putt alongside you, and they can win free beer for life?
Yes. So the Puttapalooza, over the
Love it.
4th of July was drinking garage beer. I love it. And they approached me and they were like, hey, so what if we do this putting competition where one person has an opportunity to win beer for a lifetime? And I was like, 100%, I'm in. So we've had so many entries so far. We're picking 20 people. It's going to be this upcoming Wednesday, the 16th, and 20 people will be competing. It's elimination style, and you first can win a year's worth of beer, and then the person who wins has a shot to win a lifetime worth of beer if they make a long putt. So very exciting. I will be there cheering them on.
That's amazing. I love that. I wish I was there. We'll follow you on social media for that. Or I don't even have to. I'll just read it on every headline that ever exists on anything. I mean, let me just say this. The amount of men in my life in the past 48 hours who have hit me up to say, hey, Kay, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? What are you doing? Are you... And I'm like, why are people coming out of the damn woodwork right now asking me how? And it's because of you, Paige, because they're seeing this headline about us golfing together. The amount of men who have volunteered to caddy this golf thing between you and I is shocking and crazy. And I'm talking about some big names. So let's get to know you a little bit better before we go golf and really become besties. We're going to call it, and this is a golf term that I didn't know exists, we're going to call it Page It As It Lies, like play it like it lies. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to ask you some questions. You're putting on Puttapalooza in Chicago, August 16th, free beer for life on the line. If you were booking Lollapalooza, the music festival, who would be your dream 2 headliners?
Oh my gosh, that is such a difficult question. I will listen. I know everyone says this. I will listen to almost everything. And right now I'm on a big country kick.
Okay.
So I honestly, I would have to put a lot of thought into that one. There's so many people that I could think of. I'll come back to you when we play golf. I will have two
Paige,
people to play.
Paige, is there a reason you can't pick one?
No reason.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm reading into that one differently. What is one thing people get really wrong about you?
I would say that I don't actually know what I'm doing, and I That's the biggest complaint that I get from people is that they're like, she doesn't know what she's doing. I'm like, I very clearly know what I'm doing. And it's a strategy that I'm using to try to be successful. And I could look back on this 50 years from now and be like, maybe it was the wrong strategy. But right now we're just going with it.
I mean, read it and weep. The following, the bags of money, come on, everyone relax. Okay, who's the one person that follows you on social media that you're like, I can't believe this person follows me?
Oh, gosh. I would say Justin Timberlake. We played together in this event, and he was actually my partner. And that whole thing was so surreal. It was me and Justin Timberlake playing against Mark Wahlberg and Gary Player. And they were announcing us on the tee, and they went first. It was so rude of them to make me go last. And they were going accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment. And then they like announced me, and it was like one thing that they said, and I was like, thank you so much. It was brutal, but that was such an incredible day, and he's so great. He's even better in person, and his wife Jessica Biel, massive girl crush on her. She's the coolest person ever. Besides
okay,
you,
so she can be in our foursome. I almost said the other one, and that would have been a whole
headline.
See, that was not on purpose. That was not part of my strategy. But that's how easy it happens, see? Me, Paige Spiranac, and Jessica Biel walk onto a golf course. There you go. What do your DMs look like, Paige?
Oh, gosh. I would say that they're a lot better than I think people would suggest that they would be. So I get around 500 to 1,000 messages per day, DMs. And most of them are like really supportive, asking questions. Sometimes they're like a very inappropriate like picture that we never want to see solicited. And but I would say 99% of them are really, really sweet and kind.
I have this thing where I get a lot of dudes that want me to like send them photos of my feet. What percentage of your daily 500 DMs are people with a feet findery vibe?
It's like the same 5 people. So you start to just know who they are by just like their name, and they'll always keep messaging you. And so, there's like someone who does it every single day. And I don't know what you want from me. I'm sorry.
No, it's a very true thing. I'm not kidding. They need you to know about it, and they do it every day. And these people are like, doing your taxes and they're your accountants, they're your dentists. Like, it's wild out there in those DMs. Okay, you're giving away free beer for life with Puttapalooza. What is one thing that you would want to have for free for life?
Like so many things are running through my head. I'm like, money, ice cream.
Ice cream, okay.
Gas for life. I mean, that would be great. Just fill up my car for free every single time.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with that.
That's a good answer. It wasn't I love how you took it so seriously and really like ran through your head on what that could be. You're crushing it in everything that you do. You have your own business. You grew it yourself. If you weren't doing this, what would have been your dream path or dream job?
I would definitely want to stay in golf. So my backup plan, if I didn't make it as a pro golfer, was to be a golf instructor or a golf coach. And that's such a big passion of mine. And I think that's what I'm best at, is teaching a very difficult, technical swing and really simplifying it for everyone. And so all of my golf instruction, people always say like it's really easy to follow, and I think I just have a knack for that, and I love helping other people. So if I wasn't allowed to stay in golf or sports, then it would be teaching of some kind.
I love that. And you guys can check out those instruction videos on Paige's website. They're amazing, they're easy, and you're going to teach me, and I'm going to be a golfer, and I'm very excited about it. Last one for you. Are bucket hats fashionable? A big NFL topic right now. Coach Sean Payton for the Broncos saying, I don't want to see any bucket hats. But then you got Joe Shiesty looks amazing in one. Are you into the bucket hat?
I love a good bucket hat. I love bucket hats.
Take that, coach.
I wear them like all the time, and I think they look great. You definitely have to have like a certain style to pull them off, and I don't even know if I pulled them off, but I do like them, and I think if you just have confidence when you're wearing a bucket hat, then it looks great.
I mean, anything outside of a headband, I think, Paige, is your...
Burn the headband, bucket hats only.
Bucket hats only are the vibe. Okay, everybody go sign up for golf instructions with Paige on her subscription service. It's called Only Paige, which is hilarious. I just got it. OnlyFans, only Paige. Got it. Only Paige is on there. And if you are in my hometown, the greater Chicago area, be kind. Go hang out August 16th. Sign up for Putt-A-Palooza, everybody, for your chance to win free beer for life at garagebeerforlife.com. Paige, you're a stud. I'm happy for you. You're living your best life. I embrace your message, and we thank you so much for hanging out on the show.
Thank you so much, and I'm excited to see you on the golf course soon.
Happy Gilmore vibes. I've never even seen Happy Gilmore. They were writing me Happy Gilmore jokes, and I was like, I don't know, what is it? Bubba?
Chubb Peterson.
Chubbs, whatever, I don't know. Paige Spiranac.